Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for today's yoga class. My name is Colleen. I am with Shine On Yoga. I have Sam here. I have Fritz here. So if you have furry friends, they're more than welcome to join. So for today, hey, no, we're not, no, none of that. That's not what this is. All right, so today's class is not that, but we do have a full class. We're going to flow a lot. We're going to get a lot of movement in. If you would like to use any props, I would recommend blocks, bolsters, blankets. If you don't have props, don't worry about it. You don't necessarily need them. We are going to start today in a nice comfortable seat on the floor. So go ahead and find your nice cross-legged seat. Sit up nice and straight and tall. If you would like to use a prop for the seated position, you're more than welcome to. I recommend bolsters, blankets. If you don't have any of those things, that is okay. You can just sit on the floor. Sometimes it can just help the knees a little bit. All right, so we're going to take a moment here to breathe and to just drop ourselves into the practice. So as we sit here and come into the practice, take nice, long, full inhales. And then long, steady exhales. See if you can extend the exhale. So that way it's longer than your inhale, really getting all of that old stagnant air out. And as you're taking these nice, big, full, deep breaths, start to relax your body. Unfur your brow. It's all knit together. Just soften your forehead. Soften your jaw. Let your shoulder blades grow heavy down your back. If it feels safe, you can close down the eyes or just soften your gaze if it doesn't feel safe in your body. And we're just going to take a moment here to breathe and settle in before we start moving. If you would like to set an intention, now is a perfect time to do so. And if you don't want to, that's cool too. So while we're getting into the practice, I do want to read the card that I pulled for today's practice, and it is Peacock Spirit. Its message is to let it shine. Are you afraid of dancing with abandon because of what others might think? Do you think you may be punished if you shine too brightly? Have you been conditioned to expect to be hurt if you show yourself fully to the world? Maybe not everyone will celebrate your beautiful radiance when you shine. That is okay. Peacock Spirit is here to remind you that while others may resist celebrating the beauty within them, although they may contract while you expand and shake your tail feathers, smile and keep dancing anyway. Model the good fortune and abundant joy that is yours, and soon someone will say, "Me too," and join you. Spirit loves you so much and wants you to enjoy the dance and shine your light. Well, that was a great message for today's practice. Let's go ahead and take a few more breaths here. So I'll take one more big inhale. And then exhale, let it go. You can sigh it out if you'd like. If your eyes are closed, you can start to blink them open. We are going to get moving. So the first thing we're going to do is start to warm up our back. So we're going to go into a little seated twist. So I'm going to take my left hand and just place it on my right knee. My right fingers are going to come around behind me. So you can do the same direction I am, or you can do the opposite. We're going to do both. So on an inhale, we're going to sit up nice and straight and tall. lengthening through the spine. And on the exhale, we're going to journey into the twist by turning towards the right. Now, don't use that left hand to pull you into the twist. Only go as far as it feels comfortable to you. On your next inhale, maybe you sit up a little taller. And on that exhale, maybe you journey a little bit further into the twist. Wherever you land, go ahead and stay there. Take a few big inhales and exhales. Just breathing into that twist through the spine. We'll take one more big inhale here. And on the exhale, we'll return to center. Let's go ahead and take it to the other side. So right hand to left knee. Left fingers are going to go around behind. Inhale, we'll sit up nice and straight and tall. And then on the exhale, we'll journey into the twist, coming over towards the left. Inhale, maybe you sit up a little taller. And then exhale, maybe you journey a little bit further into that twist. Go ahead and take a few nice long inhales and exhales here. We'll take one more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll return to center. All right, from here, let's go ahead and move into a nice little tabletop position. And once you reach your tabletop position, go ahead and bring your knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. Inhale, look forward. On your exhale, we'll sink our hips back towards our heels. Walk those fingerprints forward. Lower your head and chest to the mat. Extended child's pose. Take a moment here just to breathe. To feel that nice stretch through your back body. Finally, after that little quick, quiet moment, we're going to go ahead and return back to our tabletop positions. Go ahead and bring your knees in hips distance so that way your knees are underneath your hip points. Look down at your hands. If your hands are directly under your shoulder, walk them just one handprint in front of where they were. From here, we'll tuck our toes under, take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale, we're going to lift our knees up off the mat, straighten through the legs, let those heels grow heavy as we move into our first downward facing dog. It's okay if your heels don't touch. You can even take your dog for a walk, bending one knee and then the other. Or you can just relax into this stillness and take some nice big inhales and exhales. Or you can do both. Now after that last exhale, look forward at your hands. We're going to make our way up to the top of the mat so you can walk, jump, step. You can take a lot of steps. You can take just a few steps, whatever feels good in your body today. All right, once you're there, keep your knees a little bit bent. They don't have to be super straight. On your next inhale, we're going to come up halfway. Keep a nice flat back here. Feel a nice stretch through those hamstrings. Exhale, we'll lower it back down. Let the head hang heavy. If your hands don't touch the mat, if this is not comfortable for you, grab some blocks or grab just anything that you have around the house that you can use to bring the ground up to you. It doesn't have to be yoga blocks. It could be really anything that's stable. If you don't have blocks and you don't have anything around, then just bend your knees as generously as you would like to come into a comfortable position in this forward fold. All right, we're going to continue breathing. You can shake your head yes, you can shake your head no. You can clasp opposite elbows and rock side to side. Or you can just keep your fingertips or hands on the mat. Yogi's choice. On your next exhale, we're going to slowly roll all the way up until we're standing. And then from here, we're gonna come into a nice mountain pose. So as we come into our mountain pose, go ahead, get any extra movement out that you need to. You can shake out the hands, you can shake out the feet, get any wiggles out. You can fix your hair, fix your clothes, whatever you need to do. And then when you're ready for stillness, go ahead and calm all of that movement. We're going to loop our shoulders up, back, and down, standing up nice and straight and tall, chest lifted, hands at our sides, looking forward to a nice mountain pose. Take a few breaths here. We're going to come back to mountain pose quite a bit throughout practice. This is going to be a great little resting spot to get off of our hands and our wrists as we flow through today's practice. All right, I'm going to turn to face you guys so everyone can see me, but on your next inhale, we're going to reach our arms up to the sky. From here, we're going to take our left hand and grab our right wrist. Inhale, we'll stand up nice and straight and tall. On the exhale, we're going to cross that midline and come over towards the left, feeling a nice stretch through the right side body. Take a few breaths here. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll return to center. We're going to swap our hand placement. So right hand around left wrist. We'll inhale, stand up nice and straight and tall. And then exhale, we'll cross the midline towards our right, feeling a nice stretch in our left side body. Keep your chest dialed towards the sky. Don't collapse. Keep breathing here. When you're ready, we're going to return to center. Release your wrist. Let your hands reach up towards the sky. I'm turning back towards the side of my mat here. Take a nice big inhale. And then on your exhale, we're going to float the arms down as we bend through the knees, shift our hips back, and we're going to come down into our forward fold once again. Inhale, come up halfway, nice flat back, hands on shins. Exhale, let it go. Take a few nice big breaths here. Now when you're ready, we're going to plant our hands onto the mat. We're going to step our right toes back. Go ahead and lower onto that right knee. And then your left foot is going to be in front. Make sure it's at a nice 90-degree angle. Your knees not crossing over your toes. It's right in line with the ankle there. Your back foot, your right foot, the toes can be tucked or untucked, yogi's choice. And from here, we're just going into a little low lunge. So we're going to keep our chest nice and lifted. Again, you can always use blocks here to bring the ground up to you if you would like. If you don't have blocks, then you can just use that front leg as a little prop there to increase the length of your torso here. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. Keep the chest lifted. Pull that left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Breathe here. When you're ready, we're going to tuck those right toes under. Lift the right knee up. We'll step our left foot back to meet our right as we come into our first plank pose. Now you can always come to the knees if that is more in your practice. Otherwise, we're going to really press back against those heels. Press away from the mat. Make sure your hips aren't dipping down. Make sure they're not lifting too far up. Just one straight line. We'll take a few more breaths here. We have quite a few planks today. One more big inhale. Exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the belly. Let it go. You can untuck those toes. Let the tops of your feet kiss the mat. You can let your forehead kiss the mat. Take a nice big breath here. All right. From here, make sure your hands are stacked underneath your shoulders. Your elbows are going to be pinned into the sides. And on an inhale, we're just going to lift up and look forward with our forehead. Little baby cobra. Just warming everything up. We're going to grow this a little bit later. Keep breathing here. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll lower our forehead to the mat. Now from here, we're going to move back into downward facing dog. You can either get into that pose going through your knees like we did just a moment ago, or I'm going to show you another option. So if you are going like we did before, you can go ahead and go there. We'll meet you there. Otherwise, if you're coming with me, we're going to tuck our toes under, take a nice inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to press through our hands and lift our bodies up into a plank. Inhale again. And on the exhale, we'll lift our hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. I am going to take care of this cat, because she should not be in here right now. And I will be back. All right, we were at downward facing dog before Miss Chai Cat came in here. I'm not going to deal with her right now and these two dogs, so that's why she had to go. All right, when you're ready, we'll plant our left foot into the mat. On an inhale, we're going to lift our right toes up, but keep them dialed down, so you don't have to shoot it clear up here. Just straight in line with your hips. And on your exhale, bend through that front knee, or that left knee, bring it towards your center line. And then we're just going to step that left foot in between our palms, lower down onto the right, and do our low lunge on this opposite side. Pull that left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Breathe here. Or actually, did we do the other side? Do the opposite side that you did. Whichever one. I think I did the other one. Yep. I can feel it now. Us yoga teachers are human too. All right, so right foot should be in front if you're following me. So we'll just switch those legs. Make sure you have a nice 90-degree angle. Chest nice and lifted. We'll breathe. Pull that right hip crease back, left hip crease forward. Should feel different. When you're ready, we'll tuck those left toes under, lift that left knee up, and we're going to find ourselves back into our plank. Or you can go into half plank. One more big inhale here. And exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the belly. Let it go. Inhale, we'll rise up to our baby cobra. Or if you'd like to grow it, really press through the hands. We'll rise up a little higher into a bigger cobra. Now, a few things. If you are moving into this larger cobra, if you feel any crunchiness or any irritation in your back, lower down a little bit. You don't have to come up as high. Also, make sure you're not dropping into your shoulders. So roll those shoulder blades back and down. Really shine your heart center forward and breathe. From here, we'll lower it back down, tuck those toes under. I'm going to meet you in downward facing dog again. Once you're there, take a moment to breathe. You can pedal it out. You don't have to. One more big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Look up towards your hands. We're going to make our way back up to the top of the mat. Little baby steps or big steps are fine. Inhale, we'll come up halfway flat back. Exhale, let it go into our forward fold. Take a moment here to breathe. And I'll be right back again. All right. Take one more big inhale here. And then as you exhale, start to bend through the knees. Let your torso rest on your thighs here. I'm going to back up a little bit. And then from here, we're going to take our hands and reach forward, like maybe we're holding Simba. I should have kept the cat. Could have held her up. Chair pose. Keep breathing here. I know this is difficult. One more big inhale. And then exhale. We're going to stand up nice and straight. Mountain pose. Take a moment to shake it out. Maybe wipe any sweat from your brow. Get the feet out. And then when you're ready, we'll bring it into stillness for a moment to reset. All right, let's keep flowing. On your next inhale, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we'll come up halfway flat back. Exhale, let it go. Take a few breaths here. When you're ready, plant your palms. We'll step one foot back and then the other. Plank pose, hold it there. Or go into half plank, take a few breaths. One more big inhale. Exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, rise up into your version of cobra. Take a few moments there to breathe and to stretch it out. On your next exhale, we'll lower it all the way back down, and from here I'll meet you in our downward facing dog. Once you're there, take a few moments just to breathe. When you're ready, plant your left foot into the mat. We'll lift our right leg up. Keep those toes dialed down. Inhale. Exhale, bend that knee in towards the chest. Shift forward, look forward. And then we'll step that foot in between our hands, coming into a nice low lunge. Now this time, if you'd like to keep the knee down, you can, or you can keep it lifted. Keep breathing here. From here, plant your left palm into the mat. We're going to lift our right arm up to the sky and come into a little twist. Keep breathing here. On your next exhale, go ahead and lower that right hand down to the mat. We're going to step our right foot back to meet our left. Back in plank again. Take a few breaths. We're moving a little bit faster now. One more big inhale. Exhale, we'll lower down to the belly. Your next inhale, rise up into cobra. Take a few breaths here. Exhale, we'll lower it back down. And I'm going to meet you back in downward facing dog so we can do that whole thing on the other side. Once you're there, take a few breaths. When you're ready, plant your right foot into the mat. We'll lift those left toes up, keep them dialed down. Inhale. Exhale, bend that knee in towards the chest, shift forward, look forward. And then we'll step our left foot up, coming into our low lunge on the other side. Again, you can lower that right knee or keep it lifted this time. Keep breathing here though. When you're ready, we'll plant the right palm down. We'll send our left fingers up towards the sky, coming into a twist on the opposite side. Breathe. One more big inhale. Then exhale, we'll float that left palm down. We'll step it back into a plank. Breathe again. This is our last plank, so make it the best one. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the belly once again. We'll inhale and rise up into our last cobra of practice. Feel that nice stretch through the front body. Breathe here. And on an exhale, we'll lower it. One more downward facing dog. I'll meet you there. Once you're there, take a moment to breathe. Release any heat. After your next exhale, look forward at your hands. Once again, we're going to make our way back up to the top of our mat. And once you reach the top of your mat on an inhale, we're going to come up halfway, keep a nice flat back, and then exhale, forward fold. Take a moment here to breathe. Now, do you remember that chair pose from earlier? We have another chance to try that. So again, we're going to bend our knees super generously. Let your torso just kind of hang out on top of it. And then from here, we're going to rise up, lift up our torso, and then we can reach forward for our chair pose. Take a moment here to sink, to breathe. For our next, see if you can lower a little bit for our last breath. And on your next exhale, we'll stand it all the way up, coming into our mountain pose. Take a moment to shake it out, to breathe. Whew. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Hopefully you guys are not. Thank you so much for the hearts and the love on the live. I appreciate it. All right. Whew. Let's get to our mountain pose. And breathe. This cat has jumped down again. I'm going to shut the door because I'm done dealing with this today. If anyone has kids or pets that do this, it's okay to shut the door sometimes. Sometimes we have to. We'll come back to that later. All right, from here, let's do a wide-legged forward fold. So it's a little different than our other forward folds. So we're gonna take our feet wide on our mat. They don't have to be super wide, so you don't have to come into the splits or anything like that. Just wider than your hips. Some people say if you stretch your arms out like this, you want them as wide as like where your wrists are. That's too wide for me, so I'm not doing that. I'm coming here. If you come into a certain position, but you decide that you need to readjust as we're in the posture, feel free to. It's okay. All right, from here, keep a slight bend in your knees. Make sure you're not locking those knees out, especially if you are flexible. I'm flexible, so I have to be mindful about not locking out. We'll take an inhale, and on the exhale, we are going to start looking forward. Imagine you're looking into like a little pond or maybe a puddle. It's been raining here a lot, so I'm going to imagine a little puddle. We're going to look at our reflections. Take a breath here, and then on your next exhale, maybe go all the way down to the floor. If that is not good for you, again, blocks or anything that you have nearby that can bring the floor up to you is helpful. Or if you can only go down to a certain level, that's fine too. Make sure though that you're not pressing on your knees. You don't want to press on your joints. That's how people get injured, so don't do that. If just your fingertips touch the floor, that's fine. If your hands can touch the floor, then maybe you walk those hands back in line with the arches, and maybe you try to bring your head down to the mat. So lots of different levels, lots of different people practicing. So choose the option that works best for you. And once you get there, take a moment just to breathe. Wherever you're at, start to walk it back out with your hands. I'm just walking it out a little bit. And then from here, I'm going to turn one foot out and then the other. So before they were kind of in, now they're out. And you might want to walk your feet in a little bit for this next posture. So from here, we're going to start to lower our lower half down towards the mat and come into a yogic squat. Now again, like I said, I'm super flexible. I've been doing yoga for a long time. I've been teaching for several years. So for me, this is quite easy, but I understand for a lot of people, it is not. Your hips aren't as open. So if you can only come to here, or if you need a wider stance, do what works for you. If you are able to get low, you can even come down low into like a little froggy squat with your heels up, fingertips on the mat. If you can get your heels down, try and do that. You might have to move it around a little bit to get down there. And then if you are down in this low yogic squat, you can take your hands together into like a prayer. Take your elbows, push them into your knees, and really open up those hips. Keep your chest lifted, hands to sternum, and we're going to breathe. Take one more breath wherever you're at. And then from here, we're going to transition down to the floor, finally. So you can plop down, you can set yourself down, whatever works for you. And once you make it down, we're going to go ahead and roll onto our backs, knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug, take a few breaths here. You can even roll around on your mat if you'd like. One more big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. We're going to do one more thing, one last thing, and then we're going to move into Shavasana. But tense your entire body. You can tense your feet, tense your hands, tense everything, tense your face. Squeeze your face, squeeze everything in. Get it really small, really tight. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then exhale, let it all go. Relax everything. Your feet can go wide, let them fall open. Take up space. And we're going to take a moment here just to breathe and to let it all go. If you like to use props for your Shavasana, then feel free to do so. Otherwise, you don't really need anything. You don't even need a mat. You can literally just do this, and you can say you've done yoga for the day just by coming into this corpse pose. Make sure your shoulder blades are snuggled underneath your heart center. If it feels safe in your body, you can close down the eyes. If it doesn't, just soften your gaze. And we're going to take a few quiet moments here just to let our practice marinate, to take some time to thank our bodies for all of the work that they've done for us today and every day up to this point. And just to give a little gratitude. So I am going to go quiet for a moment, just so you have time to reflect and relax without me blathering on. But know that I am still here. I am holding space for you. And when it's time, I'll guide you out of this final posture. If you would like to stay in Shavasana, then stay as long as time allows. If you need to continue on with your day, then slowly start to deepen your breaths. When you feel ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes, just bringing some life back into them. From there, I invite you to place one foot on the mat and then the other. Keep your knees bent. Whenever you feel ready, go ahead and roll to your favorite side and just come into a little fetal position and hang out there for a moment. Take a few nice deep breaths as you reintegrate into your surroundings. And finally, whenever you're ready, go ahead and return to a nice comfortable seat. Bring your head and neck up last. If your eyes happen to still be closed, you can blink them back open to the room around you. So I want to thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I hope you found it beneficial. It was definitely not the easiest one. We've gone a little bit easy the last few weeks if you joined me on the lives or on the replays on YouTube. But this week we're hitting it back hard again. If you joined me on the live, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. If you would like to watch this recording, I will have it on my YouTube channel next week. I usually put a little blurb in my story once it's published. So if you're interested in that, you can always follow me on TikTok. For those of you watching the replay, thank you so much. Those of you on the live, if you don't know, I do have a channel on YouTube called Shine On Yoga LLC. The link is also in my bio, and that houses every single yoga class I've ever done. So if you're interested in going back and trying yoga just at home, with whatever you're working with, you guys saw my craziness with the animals. If you have kids or animals or whatever, it's okay. We don't make excuses. We just work around it and get what we need to get done in. So you can look at that at your own leisure, I guess. If you're interested, you can subscribe there and then you'll get notified right away when I do put one of these replays on there. But it's usually the beginning of the week, so about Sunday, Monday-ish. All right, and one final note, if you are watching the replay or if you are on the live and you go and you watch a replay, if you put a comment on YouTube, I do read them. So if there's a pose that you want to work on, let me know. Somebody about a month ago wanted to work on boat pose, so I incorporated boat pose into a couple of classes after that, so that way we can work on it. So if there's anything like that that you like or you need, let me know and we'll see about working it in. All right, so next week I do plan on being here about the same time, so you're welcome to join me on the live. Those of you watching the replay, I go live on TikTok. The link for that is also in my bio. I think I have all the links in all my bios everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking now because I'm just continuing to go on. All right, I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe week. I will see you next week. Oh, it's Memorial Day if you're in the US on Monday, so be safe, be careful. If you're shooting off any fireworks like they do around me, don't blow anything up. All right, have a great day, guys. Namaste.